For those of you that are curious about what has happened with Quentin Tarantino and the Hateful Eight, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a play-by-play of everything that's gone down. So a couple months ago, Quentin Tarantino wrote a draft of a Western called The Hateful Eight. It was a first draft. He was really proud of it, but it was still at the really early stages. He was really excited about it though, so he sent it to 6 people. He sent it to Reginald Hadlin, who was the producer of Django Unchained. He sent it to Tim Roth, Bruce Dern, Michael Madsen, and 2 other people. Relatively overnight, the script got leaked inside of Hollywood. It wasn't yet on the internet. It wasn't yet in the public consumption. It was just leaked to more than those 6 people in Hollywood. So Quentin Tarantino found out about this. He picked up the phone, called Deadline, and kind of went off. There was an article in Deadline by Mike Fleming detailing his conversation with Quentin Tarantino. He said, and I quote, "I gave it out to 6 people, and damn it, if I can't trust them to that degree, then I have no desire to make it." And so he came out saying he was no longer going to make this movie. He was planning to shoot it next winter. This was going to be his follow-up to Django Unchained, and he was done. It's done. A couple of people were a bit confused because Kill Bill, Django Unchained, and Inglourious Basterds were all leaked. All the scripts for those were all leaked 6 months before the movies went into production. They got passed around. He knew about them, and he wasn't angry about those. He even said in his conversation with Mike Fleming, and he was quoted as saying this, "I do like the fact that everyone eventually posts it, gets it, reviews it on the internet. Frankly, I wouldn't want it any other way. I like the fact that people like my shit and they go out of their way to get it. But I gave it to 6 motherfucking people!" So this was not about the internet or the public at large getting access to his intellectual property. This wasn't about necessarily even the people within Hollywood getting access to his intellectual property. It was about the fact that he trusted these people that he wanted to work with and he's worked with before, and somebody in that den of snakes betrayed his trust. I personally don't think anything malicious happened. I don't think anybody leaked the script in a desire to steal from Quentin Tarantino. It's kind of like when you tell someone a secret and you're like, okay, this is between you and me. Just don't tell anybody. And then that person goes home to their husband or wife or dog or kid or best friend and they go, okay, Mike Cruz just told me this, and he told me not to tell anybody, but I need to tell someone, so I'm going to tell you, but you can't tell anybody. And then they do the exact same thing to 5 other people, and it exponentially, then you become, you know, you have a scarlet letter branded on you, and you become the laughingstock of the town. That's kind of what happened. So 3 days after the news story came out that Quentin was going to scrap the Hateful Eight because of the leak, Gawker posted one of their normally inflammatory kind of posts. Here's the Hateful Eight script. If you want it, here it is, read it. Now, they didn't upload it. They claim not to have ever had it. They simply linked to other sites that had anonymously posted it for download on the internet. So then it went from having been leaked within the Hollywood circles into being leaked into the general public. 3 days after that, Quentin Tarantino sued Gawker. The lawsuit is really one of the most interesting things about this story. It has much bigger implications for intellectual property and pirating and Hollywood and blogging and journalism and what that actually means. Gawker defended itself saying, look, we didn't post this script. We simply linked out to people who had posted it. We don't have a copy. We never even obtained it. And we didn't even really turn it into a story. We're reporting on a story that already happened. The person who turned this into a story is Quentin Tarantino. He chose to call a reporter. He chose to make it a story. He chose to tell every single news outlet that he was angry at these 6 people and that this script had been leaked. He chose to make it the must-read script of the year because of what happened. Quentin says, I was trying to make a point. I was trying to make a point specifically about the climate of Hollywood and the fact that that you can't trust anybody. Gawker, though, says the point of a script is to create a film, not to not be read. And therefore people reading it, even though that wasn't their fault, people reading it does not prevent you from making a movie. Previous scripts of his have been leaked before the movies went into production, and the movies still went into production and did well in the box office, and were nominated for awards and got a lot of acclaim. And therefore, it's not a breach of the intended business purposes of the script. Just to be clarified, Gawker is not being sued for copyright infringement. They're being sued for sort of being a party to or being an accomplice in copyright infringement. I can definitely see the point that Gawker is a journalistic entity and is a large, widespread media outlet with a widespread reach. And therefore, I have to question what Gawker's responsibility is as a journalist in not saying every story is a story that we need to publish. Let's jump on this and take advantage of the situation. Let's clickbait the hell out of this and sort of make it worse. On the other hand, I sort of see Gawker's side of it as well. Quentin arguably made it into a story himself. To argue theoretically that it's Gawker's fault that people found the scripts that were posted online is purely that. It's purely speculation. Just because you Googled where to find the Hateful Eight script or read the Hateful Eight script or Hateful Eight script PDF doesn't make Google implicitly culpable of it existing on the internet. It's a complicated situation, and the lawsuit is going to have real serious and interesting implications for the future of journalism on the internet and the future of blog-generated news. At the end of the day, this week, it turns out that Jeff Snyder from The Wrap has tweeted that Quentin Tarantino reached out to Samuel L. Jackson with the script for The Hateful Eight, and that he's calmed down and is ready to take the project on again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's actually still getting made. And here's why. Back in November, Quentin Tarantino went on Jay Leno, back when Jay Leno was still a thing, and he talked a lot about how much he loved Westerns and how Django Unchained was his way of teaching himself how to make a Western. And if he could make Django Unchained without actually knowing how to do it, now that he knew how to do it, now he wanted to tackle a real Western and do it in the right way. So much so that the first line of The Hateful Eight is a breathtaking 70mm filmed, as the whole movie is filmed in, snow-covered mountain range. The next few lines reference John Ford's Stagecoach and The Searchers in all capitals. Kevin Sullivan at MTV.com put it best, right? Where he said that Quentin Tarantino doesn't owe this movie to his fans. A lot of fans have been saying that they're angry with him because the script got leaked and he's screwing them over for a Hollywood mistake. I don't think he owes the movie to his fans, but I think he owes it to himself because, one, if this is the first draft, not that I've read it, I did read it, but anyway, one, because if this is the first draft, it's incredible, and I would be thrilled to see where it goes as it develops and it turns into an actual film. Two, because no one has ever been more excited about a movie publicly than how much Quentin Tarantino was excited about creating this Western. I feel like him and everyone involved wants to see this movie get made. And so, Quentin Tarantino, make this movie. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments about whether or not Quentin Tarantino is right, whether you think Gawker Media did or did not do the right thing, or at least doesn't deserve to get sued. What if you want to see this movie, if you've read it, what's going on? Remember to subscribe to CineFix for more movie news, and I have to pin something to the board. It's really good, that stupid script. Yeah.